So our lesson today is converting between fraction, decimals, and percent. There's this really cool graphic right here that can tell us how to do it. First thing I'm going to focus on is just filling in the converting between the decimals and percent. We really need to understand that percent means for 100. Cent is 100. So a percent just means for every 100. So when we're converting decimals to percents, we need to times by 100. So this would be 48, this would be 90. Okay, moving the decimal over 2 spots. Contrast to that would be that if it is a percent and we're changing it to an actual number, we need to divide by 100. So this going this way would be 5 divided by 100. It's going to move the decimal over 2 times the other direction and making this 5 hundredths. Okay, this is per 100. This goes dividing it by 100. Same thing here. I'm not just moving the decimal after the numbers. I'm doing 8.5 divided by 100. When you divide by 100, it moves that decimal over 2 times. So this is 0.85. So I kind of got the easy ones filled in. Now let me talk about converting between fractions and decimals. Well, that's what we did the last time our class met. Look at it, it's the same number, right? Same thing. We already did the other day that this means 2 divided by 5, which is 0.4. Okay? And we just practiced converting this way, times by 100. That would be 40%. I guess that was bad of me not to put the percent signs on these. Okay, let's look at this one. 2 elevenths. 2 elevenths. Well, that's 2 divided by 11. Let me go ahead and get out my calculator and figure out what 2 divided by 11 is. So let me go to a new row. 2 divided by 11 is 0.18. So that is 0.18 with a repeater bar over it. Okay? Remember what that means is 0.181818. Okay? So when I convert this to a percent, I times it by 100. What that's going to give me is this number. My repeater bar cannot go until I'm in the decimal zone. So when I multiply this by 100, it moves over 2 times, but then the repeater bar is there. Okay, our last skill that we need to learn is how to convert things from a decimal to a fraction. Okay, so to convert things from a decimal to a fraction is we write it how we read it and we reduce. Or we can say that from the percent to the fraction, I could put it over 100 and reduce because percents are per 100. Both will work. So this is 48 hundredths. This says 48 per 100. They're both saying the same thing. 48 hundredths, 48 per 100. And then you just reduce that number, okay? The calculator will reduce for us here, I'm pretty sure. So let's see, 48 over 100, okay? Let's see what it says it is as a fraction. 12 fifteenths, 12 25ths. Okay, 5 hundredths, 5 for 100. Okay, I can do that one without a calculator. Divide by 5, divide by 5. 1/20th, 9/10ths, or 90 hundredths. Both of them will work. 9/10ths is faster, but if you put 90 hundredths, it would reduce to 9/10ths. 9/10ths, 90 hundredths. They're both the same thing. When you reduce this one, it would get you the same thing. And the last one. This says 8.5 for every 100. We don't like decimal fractions, so I'd rather do this one here. This says 85 thousandths is how we read that number. 8.5 for every 100 means 85 for every thousandths. And then I could reduce that. I'm sure I could do it, but I'm feeling lazy. I'm going to just get the calculator out here. So 85 divided by 1,000 and 17 over 20. Nope, 17 over 200. That's it, guys. It's easy, cheesy, peasy.